Hey everybody, I'm Connie and welcome to my channel. This is the Unemployed Boomer. Today is my birthday. 70 years I've been on this planet. 70. Boy, have I seen a lot of changes in that time. Now, I am not your typical boomer. First of all, I'm not afraid of technology. I love it. I embrace it, and I'm always thinking of ways to use it. I'll give you a brief history. Let's go all the way back to the 60s when rotary phones were all that we had, landlines, right? I would go to Disneyland and go to Tomorrowland, and they had a display there. I believe it was Bell Telephone. And they had phones of the future, which were video phones. And I used to think, man, that is the greatest thing, and I hope I live to see that in my lifetime. Well, look now. We've got a handheld computer in our hands now. Okay, the next big innovation I remember is a new type of telephone with push buttons. And not only that, you could store up to 8 phone numbers so that all you had to do was push one button and you'd call somebody. I couldn't get one of those, but then within a few months, they had a newer model that saved, I believe it was 10 phone numbers. So anyway, when I had my apartment, I got that phone, and of course I saved my mom and my sisters in there. But all of the other phone numbers were pizza places. The first 4 pizza places took checks. And the next set of pizza places were places that would take checks only. Mind you, think back, this is the early 70s, so it wasn't common for people to write checks for stuff. But that was important to me. You want to order pizza late on a Friday night and you don't have cash, but they would take checks, so that was important. Then, shortly after that, cable TV. Now, practically everybody has cable. In fact, you're the odd man out if you don't have cable. But back then, when it was new, it was 2 movies a month, over and over and over. But that was cool because you knew if you had to leave, you could always come back and catch the movie later. So that was really something back in 1976, 77. 2 movies a month on cable and no commercials. That was the whole reason for getting cable. No commercials. The next technological advance that I really liked was the answering machine. Oh my goodness, what a boon that was, especially when you're busy with a little one, you're running around, you don't have to run to the phone to answer it. They could leave a message if they wanted to. But the best part was those well-meaning phone calls from my mom, who would call me to say it was pouring rain outside. Make sure you put a jacket on the baby. We lived in the same city, about 15 minutes away from each other. I knew it was raining. Hi, Hispanic moms, right? What else can I tell you? Okay, then we skip a few more years into the future, the 80s, and cordless phones. Oh, I had to get my hand on one of those. And yeah, I was the first one in the family. You know what? I've always been first one to get one of those fancy phones that stored phone numbers. First one to get cable. First one. What were we on now? Oh yeah, cordless phones. I loved my cordless phone. I could walk around the house, do my housework, do whatever. I could still be on the phone, and I wasn't limited by a long cord. I could even go sit out in the front yard on the front porch. Oh yeah, I was the first one to get an answering machine too. I remember my sister telling me, "What do you need that for?" She had no vision. And now this brings us into modern times. Oh, Sam's here. Want to say hi to Sam? Sam. Anyway, I was the first one to get a cell phone. That's right. I don't remember the exact brand. I believe it was a Motorola. And at that time, you were limited as to how many phone calls you could make for free. So we always waited until after 7 p.m. to make phone calls. But it was nice to have in an emergency. Because I do remember one time I was out and about and I got a flat tire. And I thought, wow, this is great. I have a phone. I can call the auto club. So that was fantastic. Took a few years for the rest of my family to get a cell phone. And of course, I was the first one to get an iPhone. Because I could see the possibilities were endless with an iPhone. Just fantastic. Oops. Oops, sorry, Sam. Oops, I scared her. Got my dress on. I just need lipstick. Earrings are on. We're good to go. So I am at this restaurant that I have not been to in 60 years. That is correct. I came here when I was 10. And I'm so excited that I'm coming back for dinner.
Let's put it back.
My son and I shared the prawns. They were phenomenal. I had French onion soup, which was so good. And then we each ordered a filet mignon, and it was sheer perfection. Oh, wow. I just had the most amazing dinner. Now, I'm used to fine dining. I will splurge. I don't mind paying for good food. But holy bleepity bleep, that was the best steak I have ever had. Whew. You know, the problem with wearing glasses is the glare. And trying to get a right camera angle so that I don't blind everyone with the glare. Oh my goodness. Oh, no, that's not going to work. Maybe if I stick my chin forward and then I look ridiculous. Oh, so frustrating. Well, that's somewhat better. Anyway, I gotta start this over again.